Courtney and I'm with Love Lives On, and today I'm going to be showing you how to make beads out of funeral flowers. So the first thing that you want to do is make sure that you have all the tools that you're going to be needing. So the first is polymer clay. So this is non-toxic and it can be found at most craft stores. And today we are using white. It's up to you based on what colors of the flowers you are choosing, what color of clay you want to use. So that's number one. Number two, you need dried flowers. So you can either take flowers, leave them in a vase without water. It'll probably take a couple weeks to dry. Or if you want to do it a faster way, you can do it in the oven. So you take the flower petals and just make sure that none of them are touching. And then you put them in the oven at the lowest setting possible and just keep an eye on them until they look like they're crisped up. And now we also, since the polymer clay can stain, we're going to be using a cutting board for our rolling. We also have a ruler to measure our beads to make sure that they're a uniform shape, and then a knife, and that is all you'll need. So we're going to preheat the oven to 275 right now. So the first thing you want to do is take the polymer clay and break off approximately 1 to 2 tablespoons. And so the clay is really hard when you start off. So then you want to work it in your hands because you want it to get a lot softer so it's more pliable. So the heat of your hands, just forming it into a ball back and forth, will help loosen up the clay. Twisting. Once you feel it getting nice and soft, I'm going to start rolling it out into a little tube. There we go. So you want the tube to be about 1/2 centimeter in diameter. And try your best to make that diameter consistent all the way through the tube. So that'll help your beads take a uniform shape. I'm going to cut this one a little bit here. Save it for the next. I'm going to measure with my ruler diameter, and we are at about 1/2 centimeter, so that's perfect. Let's get it nice and uniform. And once you have this tube, lay it out against the ruler, and you want to measure 1 centimeter and then make a little notch here, and you keep going through at 1 centimeter cutting, and this will be each bead, and this helps keep a uniform shape for all the beads so you don't have any that are too big or too small for your finished product. And you can make them bigger or smaller, it's up to you. You can make them up to 2 centimeters, 1/2 centimeter. It all depends how big you want your beads to be. So once you have all your little notches cut, you can work the clay again like you did in the beginning when you were rolling out your tube. Just work it. And then press it flat on your palm, working it out like pizza dough. Now you're ready to add the flowers. So the flowers that we're using today are dark red carnations, and we use the oven dry method. And now there's this beautiful deep purple that looks really nice with the white of the bead. So you take a little pinch of dry flowers and just crumble it onto the flat clay. And do this over a pan because it can be a little messy with the petals. And once it's there, you just fold it and incorporate it. So just knead the clay again like this till all the flower petals are incorporated into the clay. And then you want to roll it between your palms till it's a nice circle like this. And if you want more flower petals present, you can always take some more petals and crush them up in your palm over the ball. And then just roll again. And this will help you get more petals showing on the outside of the bead. And it looks like this. And then you want to get your coat hanger and a deep dish, because you want the coat hanger to sit on top of the dish like this so that your beads aren't touching a flat surface when they're baking, or else it'll lose its round shape. Then you take the coat hanger and you push the bead through. And when you do this, the bead will lose its shape a little bit. So you want to take your thumbnail and push it up against the bead while you turn it. And this will help the bead reform its shape. And then just pinch lightly around the top and spin it until it's back in the bead circular shape, and then you push it through and you set it back on your pan and you do the next one. I like putting the beads on right after I finish it, because if you let it sit too long, the clay kind of hardens and then it cracks and loses its shape when you push it through. So then you do it again, same process, knead the dough a bit, then flatten it out into your palm like pizza dough. Take some of the flowers, brush them up, sprinkle it on top. You don't want too big chunks of flowers, you want nice fine ones. And then knead it again. And roll it in a circle. And I personally like more petals showing, so I'm going to add a bit more again. And roll it again. And then push it through the wire. And once again, help it regain its shape by pushing your fingernail up against the end of the bead and just pinching lightly while you turn the bead. There you go. So once you've finished forming all of your beads and placing them on the wire, and you're happy with the shape that they've taken, make sure that they're spaced out approximately 1/2 centimeter between each bead, because when they're baked they can expand a bit and they can fuse together, which we don't want. And once you're happy with the spacing, you can place it back on the pan. Now the beads are ready to go into the oven. So we've preheated our oven to 275 degrees. And be careful because this can roll around, so you don't want it to fall. Place it in the oven. And you want to bake it for 15 minutes. So we'll put a timer on here. And now we wait. And once the 15 minutes is up, it's time to take the beads out. So very carefully, don't burn yourself. Lift the beads. Place them on the cooling rack. And they need to cool for about half an hour before you take them off of the wire. But this is a good time to make sure that none of the beads are touching. And if they are, just use your knife and just separate them a little bit. Because they're still soft, they harden as they cool. So you're able to separate any ones that have somehow fused together. And then let them set for half an hour. And once the beads are cool to the touch, you simply pick up the coat hanger and into a bowl, just pull your beads off. Some might be a little fussy, just turn, there we go. When you get a fussy one, just keep twirling it. Don't pull too hard and it'll come off. And there we are. And that is how you make beads using funeral flowers. My name's Courtney from Love Lives On, and thank you for watching. If you like what you see, please subscribe to our YouTube channel for other ideas on things that you can do and make to celebrate our lives now and forever.